Burkha starring Konkona and Sharma and Ratna Pathak Shah has hit a roadblock after the censor board refused to certify this film. Listing the reasons for denial of certificate, the Central Board of Film Certification in a letter wrote, and I'm quoting from that letter, the story is lady-oriented, their fantasy above life. There are sexual scenes, abusive words, audio pornography, and a bit sensitive touch about one particular section of society. Hence, the film has been refused certification under the guidelines. Now, the film's director, Alankrita Srivastav, has criticized this decision, saying, and I'm quoting again, assault on women's rights, and she will fight till the very end to get her film released. That's what she told us.
We have with us Prakash Jha right at his office. Sir, you know, the latest controversies regarding Prakash Jha's movie, CBFC has not issued certificate to the movie.
देखिए, मैं किसी को मिला या नहीं मिला, हमारे काम है पिक्चर को सर्टिफिकेट देना, लेकिन इतनी फिल्मों को सर्टिफिकेट दिया कोई उसकी बात नहीं करता है। जो फिल्म ऑब्जेक्शनेबल होगी, जिसको सर्टिफिकेट यूनानिमस रिफ्यूज किया गया है, चाहे वो ईसी हो चाहे आरसी हो, और प्रोड्यूसर के पास अभी भी ऑप्शंस बहुत है, ही कैन गो द कोर्ट, ही कैन गो टू दी एफकैट में जा सकता है। तो इसमें की और इतने में घबराने की क्या बात है? घबराहट हो गई प्रोड्यूसर को।
But people like Sham, Benegal and top people are talking that you have not issued. Sir, Prahlad sir.
कोई ब्लेमिश है ही नहीं किसी इंडियन में, तो हम उसको क्रिटिसाइज कर ही नहीं सकते, क्योंकि उसको करेंगे तो उसकी कम्युनिटी हर्ट होगी। Are we saying that? Political leaders, we can't talk about. We can't even say CM or PM in a movie. We saw that recently in Urta Punjab. Mythological figures we cannot touch. Historical figures, supposed historical figures, we cannot touch. We've seen that, Padmavati. Now, women's sexuality, we cannot touch. And if that women belong to a particular community, then the community might get hurt. We cannot touch. Sir, बचा क्या है? आप ही बता दो. किस बारे में बनाए movies?
And we're opening the phone lines to get the people of this country, the viewers of these films, the audience, to weigh in also on this. And Siddhant Mishra, my colleague, who's been speaking to many from the censor board and the film fraternity, also joining us. Siddhant, everyone's given their side of the story. The censor board's justification for banning this film, many say the justifications are flimsy. There's a misogynistic approach, some would say. What does it mean when you say the film is lady-oriented? Is there any rethink on their part on this ban?
Well, till this time there has been no rethinking of on their part to to go through again through the procedural reviewing of the film. But as far as censor board is concerned, censor board is quite ready with the fact that the producers will move to the tribunal, and they are today morning itself I interviewed Prakash Jha, and he said that the options are open for the producer, and this is not the first time that some film has hit a roadblock in the process of certification. If we go back, the same was the case with Ganga Jal 2, as well as many other movies, which includes Urta Punjab, and finally they got cleared from the court. So now the point here is that Prakash Jha has always talked about the constitution as well as the guidelines given in the censor board, and he says that he follows those guidelines. Before him, those who were the censor board chief used to avoid those guidelines while giving the certificate. If we go into the technicalities and how the film was denied the issuing of certificate, then the film was reviewed by the examining committee, then it went to the reviewing committee, and both the committees denied giving certificate to the film. And the letter which got viral and was posted by the Bollywood celebrities on the social media clearly says that this film contains audio pornography. This film talks about above the life fantasy of a woman. So these were the reasons and the excuses given to the producer. Now the question here arises that the government is aware about this constitution and the guidelines in the censor board. So now it's a high time for the government to implement and to get the new guidelines and framework, so that no chief, no committee, and no CEO of the censor board can censor or can deny certificate to any film. First. Second, the government has already asked veterans Bollywood veteran Shyam Benegal to work on the framework and the guidelines, but then too those framework and guidelines never got implemented. So it is somewhere a carelessness from the part of the government. Whomsoever is the censor board chief, that's a very different issue. I agree to the point that, you know, the mindset matters, mindset of the board, mindset of the censor board chief matters while issuing the certificate, but at the same time, government should formulate and government should come out with a certain constitution and the guideline so that no filmmaker shall face this situation ever in future. Because Prahlad Nilani, every time he says this in his defense, that the guidelines and constitution never permits me to give certificate to such movie. So this is his part of his side on this entire controversy, as well as the actors, as well as the producers are concerned. They say that this is a cinema that talks about the women in India. This is a cinema that talks about the fantasy of the women. And if you're not issuing certificate to this film, this is like a assault to the women in power. Now the point is censor board clears movies with sexual content, with obscene scenes, as well as item songs. If we say the clears film with those things, with those content. But why this film is not issued a certificate? So the question is there. What producers and actors are talking about, that's a very genuine question.
Absolutely, absolutely, Siddhant. And we've opened the phone lines and we have callers with us. Our first caller has been holding on very patiently on the line. Kalpana Ravi joining us. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Parki. I think sometimes, as a person in the media, I think is all this hullabaloo created just before the release of the film. Let's forget about it. The other thing is, why a censor board? Leave it to us whether we want to watch the film or not watch the film. Today, in the world of digitization, everybody is watching everything, including kids, okay? We're watching Netflix, we're watching this, we're watching that. So leave it to the sensibility of the audience whether they want to go watch this film or they don't want to watch the film. But I have another issue. I mean, I am not trying to get communal or anything, but if this film gets passed, will the minority community shut up and keep quiet, or they will create a hullabaloo? That's another thing which is my question as a viewer, as a watcher of NewsX. I'm asking this question. This is a personal question because this whole film is said lipstick under my burqa. So, you don't want the mullahs coming and standing on the streets and say ban the film. So that's another thing. But I think we as a mature country now, I should get rid of all this certificate. Just give a certificate and forget about it. Leave it to the audience whether they want to watch a film or they don't want to watch a film. Agar maine theater mein nahi gaya, I'll watch it on YouTube or someplace, no? I'll download the film and watch it. How many people are going to watch it like that? So, there is no way you can put a stop to it in today's world of digitization. I think let's get rid of everything, implement what Mr. Benegal has said. Just give a certification. Don't censor us. Don't tell anybody what to do, what not to do. We as Indians anyway don't like to be told what to do, what not to do. Leave it to us. We want to watch, we will watch. If we watch, the film will run. If it doesn't watch, it will go back into the dabbas. And anyway, most people today are downloading films and watching. Who's putting a stop to it? Nobody's putting a stop to it. So, just leave it to the viewers and we will take a call on whether we want to do it or don't want to do it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kalpana. And we spoke to filmmakers like Shyam Benegal and Mukesh Bhatt, among others, and this is what they had to say about the latest decision of the censor board.
Well, I'm being joined by Ahana, leading lady in the film. We'll be talking to her. Ahana, I appreciate joining to you, NewsX. Ahana, your take on this entire controversy, that how this film was denied giving certificate from the censor board, and this film talks about women, the fantasy of a woman, that how Indian women also have those feelings. How do you see it and how will you react to it?
Well, the reaction to it has been very evident. We have all been very shocked and very confused as to why the censor board has refused us a certificate. Yeah, we are making a simple film. It's a simple film about desires of women. I don't understand why the censor board is feeling so threatened at the fact that 4 women are talking about their sexual desires and they can think about fantasizing, about certain things in their life when men can so openly do it. Why such a patriarchal society? And I think in 2017, we should not go back into the Ghungat system, and if we don't, if they are going to start banning art, then nobody will make art. If we don't, if they are going to start banning art, then nobody will make art. So why should we only have, family films which the family filmmakers are doing, or films which are, which are objectifying women? I don't understand why a film like this can't be made.
Anna, you are a woman. you're a modern woman. How does it feel when something of this kind is denied a certificate? It's not just about the film, it's about the mindset of a board, and the mindset of the board is under harsh criticism after this. Now the question here is that even so, we had word with Sushant also. Sushant rightly mentioned that when it is about some item song of a lady, then censor board clears that. But when it's about the desire of a woman, it's this film will make people understand Indian women in a better way. How do you see it as a woman?
See, I would not like to comment on what people are making because I really don't care. That's not the kind of cinema I'm doing. I have chosen to do a film which is talking about women and their sexual desires. It obviously took a lot of guts even for us as actors, for Konkona, for Ratna ma'am, for Plabita, for me, for Alankrita to think of a film like this. And how would she get 4 good actors on board? Apart from us, there's Vikrant, there's Vaibhav, there's Sushant. There are there's a very good cast on board. Why would everybody unanimously agree to do a film like this? Then you should have just got like some Tatpunjiyas to come and do a film like this.
And Sushant Singh, who's acted in this film, is joining us now. Sushant, how do you react to the censor board's decision to ban your film?
This day. Max, I was expecting maybe they'll ask for few cuts because हमारी Indian sensibilities बहुत जल्दी hurt हो जाती हैं. So, but censor certificate ही नहीं देंगे. ऐसा हमने कुछ बना दिया है जो पूरी दुनिया देख रही है, award भी मिल रहे हैं. But about Indian women and Indians cannot watch it. ये censor board की अगर सोच है तो I think we are living in the dark ages here. What can I say?
We've been asked why we're asking those who've not seen the film to weigh in, because everyone is expressing their opinion. You've seen the film, you've acted in it. So you tell us, do you think there's something objectionable?
Nothing in it is so objectionable. It shakes you up definitely, because the movie makes you think about something which we have been avoiding for centuries. That is repressed feelings of women, how we treat women in our society. How we are okay when we treat them as sex objects, even in movies, showing their cleavage for the pleasure of men, their waist, their legs, for the pleasure of men, that's all okay. And nobody's feelings get hurt at that time. But the moment we talk about that a woman or a girl might derive pleasure in sex, it becomes taboo. अच्छे घरों की लड़कियां सेक्स के बारे में नहीं सोचती हैं. That's what we feel like, and I think censor board also feels like that. Women cannot think about sex. They should not. And it is not the only theme of the movie. This is one of the themes. There are themes about a girl rebelling against her parents, conservative parents. She wants to dress cool like cool girls, but they want to dress her in a burqa. There's a woman who wants to become independent, wants to marry by her choice, but her mother feels she should marry for money. There's an elderly lady who's been a widow for years, and she has these desires. Physical pleasure she seeks, but she can't get. There's a woman whose husband I play, who wants to do a job as a saleswoman, but the husband doesn't allow, and husband treats her only as a domesticated animal, sex object, only for his pleasure. These are the themes of the movie. What is wrong with it? Please tell me.
Right. Sushant Singh, appreciate you joining us. We're going to have to take a short break at this